them the best. But really proud of our team. Defense scored second week in a row. We got some contributions. My kind of game. We won the game. There's still a lot to improve. So I get to be the coach and be happy at the same time for a night. So with that, I'll see what questions you have.
What did you think of the atmosphere inside the stadium? Was it what you hoped it would be?
It was electric. Again, the crowd noise was fantastic. The energy was fantastic. I think our players fed off that. And I think it's in this modern era of communication, all that, it's really hard to play in an atmosphere like that. So, thank you to the student section. They were there early. Thank you to our fans. It was really a special night.
After last year's loss in Boulder and coming back this year and just making a statement with this win, what does that mean for the rest of the season then?
I don't think it's, like I said, I don't think it's a referendum. I think last year had to happen so that this year could happen. I think that's a lesson I take with me all the time. Sometimes bad things have to happen to you so that the old you can die and a new one can be born. So a lot of guys that chose to come back and play with us this year, go through the struggle. They came back. A lot of young guys didn't have a chance to really play. We won the turnover battle for the second week in a row. I don't know that we turned the ball over. We had a block punt, which obviously isn't good enough. But so we have to keep getting better, right? But this was a big moment, So it was really big for us to show up and not back down from their stars because we're a little different. Our team is our star, right? And while I know Dylan's getting a lot of publicity, and we have a lot of guys who could be stars, our defense is a star. So everyone kept talking about this guy, that guy, that guy. And I kept saying, hey, they're forgetting our defense. They're forgetting the black shirts. And had we not had that block punt, lean to that field position and then that tough targeting call, they wouldn't have scored today. And so even at the end, we chose to take a knee. So it was just kind of an overall win. But, hey, we got to play again next week. We got a lot to do.
I know that you brought some pressure in the second half on Shedeur, but a lot of what you guys were able to do, you did with 3- and 4-man pressures. How proud were you of your defensive front tonight and their relentlessness and passion?
Yeah, and even the pressures we brought, sometimes we're bringing we're dropping a guy and bringing one, so still really like a 4-man rush. I mean, we had a couple, he brought all-out pressures in. He brought one the 4th and 1. But for the most part, we just played coverage. We trusted our big guys. And really the times they made plays were they got outside of us, So if we were coaching the guys hard tonight, coaching them the whole way through the game. I mean, we have to learn how to play with a lead. That game really wasn't much of a contest in the second half. And so you're sitting there hey, we just not turn the ball over. We have to find that middle place of aggression, and so we're still working through a lot of that, right? But I thought the defensive line came to play. I mean, they had a really good week of practice, but as importantly, there was no one running free. They didn't have any free runners. They hit one seam ball. They were going empty. But I thought a lot of guys, and even Willis got in at the end, gets a sack fumble, so big day for him.
How important do you think it was to your guys to set the tone physically from the start?
Yeah, we have 3 goals: win the turnover battle, be the most physical team on the field, and have a culture of execution. There was a ton of penalties, just a ton of penalties. And we have the iPads now. I mean, I looked at a lot of them. I mean, we'll wait and see. I mean, I was disappointed. We didn't get many calls going our way. It's a Big 12 crew, so I can't get fined by them, I don't think. So I'll say that. So there's a lot of things to fix, but I thought we were really physical, and I thought even that first run, again, I hate that Shiloh got hurt, but, I thought Dowdell set the tone with his physicality, running the football, and, but we are a physical team. We might have some areas that we have to improve on, but we are a physical team.
What can you say about just Ty Robinson and if he blocked a field goal, kind of sack on the first series, just his impact?
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, sometimes I want to say I told you so. Last year I kept saying how good he was, and everybody kept saying, well, it's stats. I'm like, I'm just telling you. And so, he's a dominant player. Every scout that comes in, I'm like, I'm just telling you guys, he's a dominant football player that can play 4 positions, and he plays hard. He about broke my neck walking down the thing because he was so happy that we won, He grabbed me, and because he's one of the guys who came back. I love him. I'm proud of him. So, that's why I'm not doing a big referendum on it. To me, this was like my guys. I said something on Tuesday or Tuesday press conference that no one really picked up on. I said, hey, I think Sam asked me about Shedeur saying what he said about me, and I really didn't care. I had a great visit with some of those guys before the game. But I said, hey, you know what? He's defending his father. My son would too. And I said, I think I got some guys in there I think will too. And I love Ty. I love Jamari. I love those guys. This has been the best this has been one of the best experiences of my life coaching these guys. So I'm happy they had a chance to get a win, and they're going to come in on Monday and they're going to think it's the worst game they ever played. By the time we're done, and we'll get ready for next week.
What did Dante and Ramir show you that allowed them to get the bulk of the carries that they did tonight?
Yeah, I thought we had some flash plays early, and so I just kind of stayed with them. Even Ramir has a long run at the end, but this is a game. This was a game that we just kind of went with. Even across the board, we didn't do a ton of rotating. We just kind of played the guys that on defense. We played most of the older guys, and just a unique game. Got up early, but there's no referendum on those other two. Gabe and Emmett will play a ton of football as we move forward. But I thought early on Dante set the tone, and Ramir did some good things, so we kind of just stuck with them.
How did you feel like Dylan played? And then in the second half, were you guys trying to make sure that he didn't put it in harm's way with some of the play?
Yeah, it wasn't really about him. It was just, honestly, the heart. I mean, you're not going to have a lot of games like that in the Big Ten where you're like, hey, they can't score. So if they can't score, what do you do, right? So again, and I was pushing us on offense to be aggressive. Again, you take away some of those penalties, and we are pretty aggressive, right? And we had some mistakes, right? We call a counter, the guard doesn't pull, or something that happens wrong, and we get hit for a loss. And we have to get a lot better in the field goal game. Like I should be able to kick those field goals, and so we have a lot of work to do. The snaps still aren't. We have some things to work on, and that's not calling anybody out. That's just coming out of game, like game flow. Hey, let's just add 3 points here. Let's add 3 points there. But a lot of those penalties really hurt us. That'd have been a 300-400 yard rushing game if that long run and all that, because I think we finished with 185. So, I forgot. I'm sorry, Sam. I forgot what you said. I'm pretty excited right now.
Dylan played. And
I
were you
thought
guys
Dylan
trying to, make sure he didn't throw an interception? In the second half?
No. I mean, we they were bringing a ton of heat. We were having a hard time picking up. They were bringing everybody, right? And we got some DPIs. We took a couple shots. We were just, think back to the one goes off to Thomas's hands, one goes off Jalen's hands. We hit Jalen on the one, so we let it rip. But hit the seam ball, backed up. We were backed up at 2nd and 20. We throw a seam ball to Borkacher. So I didn't think we just overall just kept trying to find, because we got up to 75 yards rushing right off the bat. And then they just changed everything. When Shiloh went out, they started playing some cover too. They started bringing some different pressures, and defense scored, and just felt like we got a little discombobulated maybe. But I'm going to put the ball in Dylan's hands. I trust him.
Your guys have even started to talk about complementary football, and you had the moment last week after the safety, after Buschini's punt down to the 2 with the pick 6. How much of that is the kind of stuff that you've been preaching to them for a year and a half, and how big of a moment for momentum do you think that was in the game?
That was a huge moment. I was really happy for Brian. And, a couple times I said to the guys on the field, even like when we start talking to the other team, I said, hey, guys, we've been trained. Like, we know, we botched the 2-minute warning. Like, we could have milked the clock down to 1 second and gotten the ball to the 2-minute warning. So we gave the ball back to them, which is was not good enough. Now, luckily, we got the ball back, and then we went down and scored. It's 2 weeks in a row now. Dylan and the offense have gone down in 2-minute right before the half and put the ball in the end zone. But I think the complementary football's there, and our guys are understanding it, and I think the coaches are doing a good job preaching it.
Hey, Coach, this is a team that you played tonight that brought in an entire new offensive line, and your front seven seemed to not have much of an issue with that. Is that more the players executing, or is that something you saw on film?
I think we have good players. I just think we have really good players. I haven't seen the tape yet, so it's hard for me to say what happened. But we have really good players. They execute a really difficult scheme that requires a lot of thought and a lot of teaching. And we think we have 5 or 6 or 7 starters on the front D line. I think MJ and Prince Will are interchangeable. We put Willis in at the end. He gets a sack fumble. I mean, we got really good players. It's a credit to the guys.
How happy were you for Tommy to have that moment? How hard he's worked the last year, the pick 6.
Yeah, I mean, everyone kept talking about the other team's corners. I kept saying, Tommy's a first rounder. And, he went to the other side. And Travis is a great player. I'm not saying anything about Travis. I'm saying, but Tommy's a good player too. And that's why I kept telling our guys at halftime, we have to – I didn't want to make this game about the other team because I think we have good players. I want to make it about us. I think we have good players, and Tommy's an excellent player. And he broke, and he didn't jump something. He played his technique. He broke. He saw it. He went and got the ball. He intercepted it, and then he went out and played the next drive. So I think Tommy's one of the best players in the country.
You talked about playing with a lead. Now that you've got some momentum, how do you coach these guys to prepare and play game after game with that kind of momentum and belief that the fan base has?
Yeah. Our preparation will not be our issue. Our guys work their butts off. I mean, we practice really hard, and our guys work their butts off. I think just again, learning how to finish, we still haven't solved the close game thing because we haven't been in that. And I think probably a lot of people thought this would be a close game. I'll be honest with you. We expected this score. Like, we expected this to be like this. We have a good team, and we felt like we were going to play really well tonight. We're going to go right back to work and treat this like a game that we lost. That's what we did last week. Like I told you guys, correct the correctables, and that's a really good football team. Like they'll make a ton of noise in the Big 12, guarding number 5 and guarding number 12 and guarding number 2. Those are as good a players as you'll play against. And on the defensive side, they're as active and violent a defense as we'll see. So we're just going to work. And I think the biggest thing is we have great competition. A lot of guys want to play. Ja'Cory keeps making plays. Now we got Jalen involved again this game. Thomas made a big catch down the middle. So we just have a lot more I think we have to get done.
Coach, with the defense playing as well as it has, and then you have Dylan off-platform throw across the field down to the 2 on national TV. Just how excited are you as a coach, and how excited should your fan base be right now?
Okay. And that was just for the play by Dylan was great. But that's a roll throwback. That was a great call, great play design. They said they had it, and it was cover 2. Jalen did a great job. The ability by Jalen to come back and get that ball was fantastic, and Dylan trusting him. But I think the biggest thing about Dylan is, we didn't turn the ball over. Like, we're protecting the ball, still being aggressive, and we've had a good defense. The defense just needed some help. We have a lot of work to do on special teams, right? We got a punt block, miss a field goal, kick. We got to give up a 70-yard kickoff return. So there's a lot of those things. In terms of the fan base, what I would say is, let's just take it one game at a time. Where our players will get in trouble and everyone will get in trouble is we'll start zipping ahead to like 4 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now. We have not earned that right. We have not earned the right to start looking ahead. Like, all we're going to do is we're going to, like, even when we lost to Colorado, I remember with Trev, I said, just give it a year, Trev. I said, we'll play these guys next year and it'll be different. But that was just day by day by day work. And so we're going to come in this week and we're going to prepare like crazy for Northern Iowa. And I hope our fans, come out and next week sounds just like this week, because it's really hard. I want the fans to know, I don't know how well we would play in that atmosphere if we were the visitor. It is so hard. And so if they can just do that every week, I'm telling you, it's an advantage. I don't know if I answered your question, but I think people should be pretty excited. I'm going to tell you something. Don't mistake my stoic look. I'm fired up, okay? I'm fired up, but I'm fired up for the guys, because those are my guys. And, and then Bud Crawford, he came in, talked to the team last night and let us out tonight, gave him a game ball. And, we wanted our guys to know that, we have celebrities here in Nebraska, too, that care about us.
All good.
Anybody else? All right, thank you, guys.
Questions for Ty. How good does that feel? Just not only to beat that specific team the way you guys did, but the way you guys played, that atmosphere. How does it feel inside?
To play to our standard is awesome. I talked about it last week. It's us versus us. We're playing to our standard. To go out there and execute. I know the second half didn't look as pretty, but a win's a win. And what's awesome is that we get this next week to go and look at the film and correct those mistakes on both sides of the ball, make sure it doesn't happen again. It's awesome to be 2-0.
You had to wait a half to play last year against these guys. How good did it feel right away? First series, you bat a ball, you get a sack right away.
Yeah, I knew how I was going to be approaching this game. Last year they didn't get all 60 minutes, but I knew this year I was going to make sure they knew who I was all 60 minutes.
How are guys just feeding off each other? You were kind of taking turns getting sacks there in the first half. Could you just feel the energy picking off one another?
The more the merrier, right? When we had 4 at one point from 4 different dudes, 4 for 4 from Wendy's, right? Like, it was just awesome just to go on the sideline, hype each other up, but our goal was to get one more every drive we went out there. And we were getting there. He's a great quarterback though, so he's able to be elusive or or get the ball out quick. So yeah, no, a lot of kudos to them.
Ty, coach said this team's still learning to try to play with a lead. How do you assess that performance in the second half after how dominant the first 30 were?
Yeah, again, you got those older guys, and then you have a lot of younger guys as well. And since I've been here, it's been a lot of tough games, battling to the very end. So learning how to, what it means to stay focused, not relax, not freak out when, the score isn't pretty going our way or their way. But I think, just make sure to stay in the moment, going out there one play at a time for those drives. And, I think that's how we ended up winning. Just kept reminding everybody, stay in the moment, one play, one play, one play.
How did that atmosphere stack up compared to games that you've played in the past?
Yeah, no, that's probably the second loudest I've heard. I think Michigan 2021 was probably the loudest I've heard. But when I'm out there, you don't really hear it when you get in your stance, when you're trying to communicate with each other. So it's really hard to really take it in. But sitting on the sideline and getting to listen to them cheer for the offense, can't really talk to the dude right next to you.
Ty, how much did you guys feed off of that energy in the first half when things were building and you were getting momentum and things were happening your way really in every phase of the game?
That's just, how we wanted to come out starting the game, dominance. We wanted them to feel us. So, when we went out there, I was really happy that coach was like, nah, if we win this toss, let's defer, let the defense go out. And I think it's awesome because, defense is a real tone setter for the game. And I think we, accomplished that goal today.
You guys haven't started a year 2-0 since 2016. Just to get over that hurdle that's kind of plagued Nebraska, how big was that for the program tonight?
If you think it like that, but then you can think of it as 1-0, right? And so to go 1-0 every week, you end up at the end of the season being 12-0, and then you go into the playoffs or whatever the offseason or the postseason. I think that's what this team does a great job of, is not really looking at it in terms of a whole, but really going 1-0. We got it on posters, everyone, pieces of paper all throughout the facility, 1-0, whoever the opponent is.
Ty, did you blocked the field goal? Was that something in film review during this week that you thought was a possibility?
Yeah, we knew that he was going to kick it low and hard, or kind of a low line drive. So we just made sure, got our 5 steps, and I made sure to jump as high as I could because I knew that ball was going to. I almost blocked the second one that he missed. It just went right past my face when I jumped. But, we had a mistake we had a MA on that. Someone was supposed to be right next to me, so it might have been blocked. Who knows? But, we knew he was going to be kicking it low.
Could you sense that Shedeur was getting frustrated even early or eventually?
If I was in that position where I'm getting hit that many times, whether I have the ball or not, I'd be pretty frustrated as well. But we don't really worry about that. We just know what it's going to do to him, and we're just going to keep feeding off of that to help us, with our energy and make sure, we keep that momentum going and take advantage of that.
Were you on the field on the Tommy pick, and just what was the feeling like when that happened for you?
Yeah, no, I definitely thought they were going to run the ball. We ran a stunt in the interior, and then all of a sudden I look out to him throwing that ball, and I just see Tommy come from right behind him, just pick it and take it to the end zone. I did go over there and I jumped him. I was freaking pumped. I ragdolled him a little bit, and I was excited. That was awesome.
All good. All right, thanks for that.
Thank you.
No.
Questions for Ramir?
Hey, Ramir, can you take me through that wild play at the end of the first half that resulted in a touchdown for you?
Yeah, I was supposed to get it a little cleaner, break it inside a little cleaner, but I don't know, miracles just happened, I guess, and it just happened to fall in my hand. I kept a track on the ball, and yeah, then it was touchdown.
It feel like you maybe punched
Yeah,
it.
he had it, and I just kind of like tapped it up, and the ball was flying, caught it, and then the rest is history.
Have you ever had to make a play like that before?
That's my first time. That's my first time doing something like that.
Up 28-0. What was the mindset at that point? Obviously, you guys almost played a little closer to the vest on offense, just trying to run the game out. I mean, what was your mindset as a team up 28-0?
Finish them. Finish. That was the motto all week. Just finish them. Don't let them come back in the game. And yeah, that was everybody's mindset during that point.
I said, Ty Robinson said this was the loudest game. Maybe the only other comparable one was Michigan in 21, which you obviously had a big game in too. What did it mean to be back in that type of electric atmosphere and play like you did?
Now, it feels good. It feels good to be in front of those fans, putting on a show, in front of them. And I would say this is probably the loudest game I've ever been a part of. Probably louder than that Michigan game a couple years ago. So it felt great getting this win and beating that team.
Ramir, what do you think tonight's game said about this team?
It's a long season, but we coming. We coming. We got a lot of good players, a lot of good. Got a good culture brewing up, and we just gotta go 1-0 every week. 1-0. So this is one game. We 1-0. Next week, I go 1-0 again.
What's it like for you watching that defense operate when you can? 6 sacks tonight and just how they played.
Phenomenal. They played that all week since camp. It's like I said last week, like really no surprise because I've seen it for months now. So I know our defense is going to go out there and play their game, and we love to see that as an offense.
Did it feel chippy at times? I mean, did the rivalry with you in Colorado?
Yeah, at times, they're talking on the sidelines and stuff like that, little jabbers, but we stay focused on the game and getting the W.
You've been here since 2019. How good does it feel to finally get one against these guys?
I feel good. I've been 0-2, now 1-2. So it feels good to get this dub for my last year as well. So I'm very excited. Very excited.
Is this a good game in the fact that you win by a nice score, but Coach Rule is saying there's a lot you can clean up too.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%. A lot of stuff we're gonna clean up. We gotta watch the film. I'm sure we're gonna get cursed out for certain things, But the main important thing, we got the W, and I'm sure Coach could be happy with that.
How do you feel like you've come along in the running back room to be able to get as much production as you did today? Going into the season, it was kind of a challenge to all 4 of you to step up.
Like I said earlier, it's still a long season, but I think I did, what I had to do to be on the field and make plays for the team, and I'm going to keep doing that because it's going to be a long season. You never know what can happen, and we got a good running back room for sure.
You guys have had so many games through the years where it just seems like things haven't gone your way. Like, no matter what the reason for that was, they just haven't gone your way. First half, just about everything went your way, and obviously the touchdown catch that you had, like that could have gone a different way. What's it like to be a part of that, where it was just snowballing in the direction that you wanted?
I think it's just the culture we've been brewing up since January, even last year as well. Everybody just want to win, and we trust in the process, and the process seemed to work, and that's why we got, what it looked like today. That's why we got the dub. So,
How much is this team just still learning how to win? I mean, you guys haven't been a 2-0 start since 2016 at Nebraska.
Yeah, we're still learning the process. Like I said, the goal for us each week is to go 1-0, and as long as we can do that, it's going to take us a long way, I'll say.
All right, thanks, Ramir.
Thank you.
Tommy, how much did you circle this opportunity for you going against an offense like Colorado's tonight?
It was a team sport, secondary. They were really a passing team, so we had to get our heads straight during the week. And just by the names of it, we don't care who we play. We're just ready to play anybody. So.
Take us through the pick six. What were you expecting? Just what do you see from your vantage point on that one?
After pinning the punt on the 2-yard line, it just all the momentum just came to me. Having Nash in the middle, having JB, we just hyped each other up, and I called it out before we went to the game. I said it was gonna be a pick six for me today, so and I got it. I'm grateful for it.
Do you have that feeling every game, or was there just something special about coming into this one?
I had that every game, but I just didn't really like Colorado, so it just came more of being more competitive today.
Any additional satisfaction that Travis Hunter won't be the premier cornerback talked about tonight?
I already knew if he going against me, he gonna face a dog. So I don't care what his name was. He just know he was gonna get the best out of me. So
Got chippy there a little bit in the second quarter. What did you guys say to each other in that little exchange where he was kind of on your sideline talking to the whole sideline?
I told him it was gonna be a rough game for you. Told him it ain't nothing gonna be easy for you. And he was like, "Oh, you trash, Nebraska trash." I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna show you." And I got in his head in the first and second quarter. So third quarter, he wasn't talking to me at all.
Maybe it's nothing because you guys, I know, run down there and sometimes pray at that one-on line, but it seemed like a lot of guys lingered while Colorado came out today. Did you want to set a tone early on with that, or was there anything there?
No, we've been wanting to set the tone as a team, just not being disrespectful but respectful. Waiting until they go past. We still had to pray for ourselves and for the team, for the family and stuff. It wasn't really no thing until the kickoff, so we were just ready after that.
What's going through your head through some of those first Colorado drives when it's third and long and the stadium is just roaring? Can you talk about that atmosphere tonight?
We had to go to the sideline and have hand suggestions, so we couldn't hear nothing. So we had to make up some more things to get more communication across the board, and it worked perfectly fine.
Coach Rule said Bud Crawford talked to the team and got a game ball. How'd that help? You know, looking at how he fought Spence, I guess you did this week too, and just what he told you guys.
When he going in the rain, he don't care who his opponent is. He always stay calm and have counters. And if they make a play, then we're gonna have to come back and counter it. And he just said, stay calm in the moment. Don't be overhyped. Just do one play at a time, one punch at a time.
Anything else for Tom?
When's your last pick six football?
In high school, yeah.
A little harder than that one tonight.
Yeah, I liked it, that one. I jumped it.
All right. Tom.
Appreciate it.
Dylan, what was that atmosphere like? I mean, it was a bit different from last week, of course, but getting Memorial Stadium packed and as loud as it got, what was that like for you out there on the field?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I couldn't put it into words how special of a fan base we have, and they constantly show up for us, and I really appreciate them. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I think the main thing was trying to breathe and relax. Take the emotion and use it for the good, and yeah, just play ball. So yeah, it was fun.
You seem pretty fired up. What was the mood like in that locker room after that one?
Yeah, we were fired up. We know wins are hard to get in this game, and we're gonna cherish and celebrate every one. But this one meant a little more to us. Rivalry game, things that were said last year. I'm proud of our guys who went out there and handled what we needed to handle.
Did you watch the last year's Colorado game live?
I did. Yeah, I watched it live. I watched it on tape three or four times this week as well. So, just it feels good to get that taste out of your mouth, and come out with victory.
How'd you feel about the offense and its ability to be physical in the early part of the game to set the tone?
Yeah, obviously that's our foundation. That's what Husker football, that's what their offenses are built on, is physicality. And couldn't say enough about my O-line going out there and just covering people up and moving people off the ball. Receivers blocking, being physical, and running back finishing runs and making plays. So it was a team win, team effort, and we're just happy we were 1-0 right now.
Near the end of the first half, you got that 18-yard pass to Johnson, and he's kind of bobbling it there at the very end. What's going through your head as you're watching, and it's a contested play between him and the Colorado defender? You're like, oh dear, am I about ready to give up my first interception on one of those bobbly type plays? And there as he's able to finally hoist it in there for the score.
Yeah, I just had a lot of trust in Ramir, put in the spot, and it went our way. And I just threw it and put in a spot that Ramir can make a play, and he did. And we're just a good way to end the half. Feels good that those situations we practice get put into the game situation.
How do you think the complementary football really showed itself when things were rolling early on?
Oh, it was great. Our defense is the best defense in the country. I believe that. See it every day in practice, and to be an offense with that kind of defense is special. There's no pressure, no feel like you're pressing when you don't score or you don't get points, and it's just a good, comforting feeling on our offensive side. But on the other end, we got to hold up our side, and I feel like we did, and I'm happy that we play complementary.
Do you think you proved something tonight with this win?
I think our team just proved that we're we're just trying to stack days and stack wins, and just take it week by week. And I think our team, we knew what we had. Just a lot of other people didn't know what we had. So that's the best part about us, believing in everything in-house and keeping outside noise outside.
Are you surprised the students came on the field like that afterwards?
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect. I heard the PA guy say no rush in the field, and that didn't work. So I was just trying to I was trying to find some players on their team and wish them a good game, but unfortunately they had left the field early, and whatever, so be it. But talked to Coach Prime, told him good game, and after that it's like, where's my family at? I wanted to go see them and be with them.
Did you end up finding them?
Yeah, I found them. Yeah, I was screaming, where's my family at? So.
You talked earlier in the week about what your dad said to you about this rivalry. What was that conversation like with him afterwards?
Yeah, he literally said, we're still undefeated against Colorado. So I was like, oh, that's the first thing you said, Dad? Awesome. So, yeah, it was good. I'm just glad we won. So it feels good.
What did you want him to say?
I honestly don't know. I just wanted to give all my whole family a big hug and appreciate, and so grateful for everything that they've done for this journey, and so glad that they show up every time for me, and I'm very blessed.
What do you think you can take away from the second half?
Yeah, you could call it a lull, you can call it whatever, but I feel like we were in full control the whole game, and I'm just you know, it's a good feeling to have when you have control and you know that you can run the ball and throw it, and the penalties hurt us, but at the end of the day, knowing that it's self-inflicted things that are stopping you, you can fix it and clean it up. So we're gonna come back in, watch the tape, and we're on to the next week. So.
You didn't get asked last week really to use your feet much other than to get out of the pocket and throw, but there was a 3rd and 10 on the first drive that put you ahead where you got scrambled for 12 yards. How confident are you in that part of your game, and how did you feel on that run tonight?
Yeah, I feel like I can run when I need to, and if I have to make the play, and it's just I was like, man, I took off and the dude hit me. I didn't even know where he came from, but I'm just glad we got a first down and kept the chains moving and ultimately led to a score. So that felt good after our defense and got a stop, and we just kind of used that momentum and kept pushing. But I don't mind using my legs. That was actually one of my goals is to rush for a 3rd down, and whatever, did it.
When was the last time you punted?
Say it again.
When was the last time you punted?
I punted in a sophomore year. I bladed my 60 degree, so if you guys know golf. But no, I should just gave it a chance, but I don't. It's fine. I just catch the snap and get it off, so the operation was clean.
All right, thank you, Dylan.
Thank you.
Thank you.